you did a handful of montages. I'm gonna be a fan for a moment and say that Stephanafro number 3, I think, was probably the video that really got me like into your content, because I loved that montage. That's like probably still to this day one of my favorite Brawlhalla montages. So
Well, dang, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's the one that a lot of people tend to reference, is that third one, because I put a lot into that one.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I think makes a lot of your content, to my knowledge, sort of unique is you put a lot of effort into sort of like the comedy side to it as well.
Yeah,
like you have really good like comedic timing for the videos that you put out, and I think that's like a big part of what makes them really good and memorable and fun to watch repeatedly, in my experience.
Yeah, I've always liked like implementing just little jokes, and they're like when you least expect it to just hit someone out of the blue. And it's like a lot of comedy comes from, like you said, timing. And something being unexpected is a form of timing,
right?
And as you know, like Gen Z humor is just random things happening like that you can't predict, and yet somehow that is funny.
Right.
And so there's a little element of that, like a little element of surprise to it, but also I kind of like to see how far I can take a joke, or like even using like traditional like what stand-up comedians do. They have like callback humor and stuff.
Right.
So one example is like the Dear Depression. I like hit that twice or 3 times, and the more you use it, the more you have to like kind of flip it on its head, or like I don't know. You want to get people to not quite to think they know what's coming, but then subvert those expectations, basically.
Right. It's either you have to escalate, or you have to do something like totally different or something. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that's I love just implementing a bit of comedy there. But I will admit, a part of that is because so I tend to not really feel like the content itself is great. So I use comedy and editing to try and compensate for that. And the end result is like this weird amalgamation of like, I guess, cool clips, humor, and then editing, because I'm just trying to compensate for all these different things at the same time.
Sure.
So yeah, that's kind of why that was implemented.
Everything ends up being more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.